come every night. They watch us until the sun rises again.
What is that? What are they doing?
Applause. For you, Mina.
Don't you want to know what they are?
Yeah, you're number 4. Coming down to the top 5 now. You're number 4. This is The Watchers. This is Dakota Fanning, who, I was doing some research. Dakota Fanning is now 30 years old. She just turned 30 a couple months ago, which is weird to think because she's been a movie star for a quarter century now. So this is her in a horror film, and it looks a little weird, and weird in a good way, I think. Tell me about The Watchers.
I love the Fanning sisters, and I love Abigail Breslin. I'm a huge fan of all three of those. But really what got me is I want to see how the director goes, Ishana Shyamalan. Is she going to be?
M. Night Shyamalan's 22-year-old daughter. M. Night Shyamalan.
Now, will she actually have some skills, or is this just a case of nepotism? And I think that's really the big question for this movie: is she a good director, or is she just getting it because of her name? And I think that's really what people are going to come watch. I think everything else is secondary. And they want to see if she has a twist at the end of her movie like her dad, which would be a huge mistake. That would be like the biggest mistake that she can make, is to have a twist ending at the end of her movies. I just think that would be a destroyer, I think. I think whatever your dad does, you do the opposite. Well, that's how I look.
The thing about nepotism, and, some people may disagree with me here, but the thing about nepotism is that, it gets your foot in the door, but you better perform. Because Hollywood is not going to pull the director's chair out twice for someone who is getting and everyone knows that you're there because you're your dad's daughter. So the fact that she's 21, 22, and she was, just emotionally mature enough to head a production, even if her dad is there producing and all that kind of stuff, it is kind of impressive to me. So I actually have this on my list. This is also why we're jumping around a little bit. It'll be really interesting to see M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, whether or not she has the directing chops to deliver a good film. And you're right. I wonder if because she is her father's daughter, if she's going to have a twist at the end, or whether she's going to have more of her own thing. Like does she have her own directing vision?
I mean, sometimes it does work. I mean, we know that it can work. I mean, we look at Jennifer Lynch. You could look at
Sophia
the Cronenberg.
Sophia Coppola,
Sophia Coppola, the Cronenberg kids. They all been taken off.
Jason Reitman, really good director.
Jason Reitman, really good director. I think Ashana, besides her age and her dad's connection, I just think that's what more people are going to be coming for. They're going to be coming to see what she has done. I mean, they're more interested. I think they're going to be more interested in seeing how she does, more necessarily. I mean, we'll see more written about her than maybe necessarily the movie that she's directed.
What about the film itself stands out to you?
It looks weird. It looks yeah. And that sort of bothers me a little bit. It's like, does she need to go out there and do a horror right away? I mean, would she been better off doing a more of a drama film right away to separate herself, to give herself some room from her dad? Because her dad always does these weird movies. I don't think he's ever really done a straight drama before. And it's like maybe she should have did that first to get some breathing room between her and her dad. I mean, to come in right and being right in his shadow. I mean, the comparisons are going to be so high. People are going to be looking at her like if it was her dad who had done it.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, like there's a part of me that wishes her first film would have been either a rom-com with Julia Roberts or a gross-out comedy starring Sean William Scott or something like something like as far away from M. Night Shyamalan as possible. That's something that I think would have been probably good for her career. But 21, 22 when this film is being shot, the saying is beggars can't be choosers, but I think in this case the 21-year-old rich kid even can't be too picky on the project she has for her first one out there. But the fact that she was able to get a movie that is not only being released, but being released in the summer movie window and not being dumped in August or in springtime, I think says something about the film itself too.
And she attracted one of the stronger leading ladies out there right now too, in one of the Fanning sisters. I mean that also has to we also have to acknowledge that too. The rest of the cast looks very localized, very different, and I think that will be I think that will help too. It's a young cast, probably not a whole lot of experience among all of them, so a little less pressure there too. And then you got a great anchor in Dakota. I think she has a chance as long as she, like I said, as long as she doesn't try to be her dad and do a trick ending at the end of it. I think
Yeah,
she'll be fine. I think
I,
I think she'll I think she'll be fine. I hope so.
I hope
I want her to succeed.
I hope so too. It does. It's a really interesting trailer. It's not. I think it's not being too weird for the sake of being weird. And it looks like there's some talent there at the very least.